This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of Legacy of the Force Sacrificed. And this is probably the most insane Star Wars novel where just so much happens. And this also has an interesting fact where this is go and celebrate a fan who went and chose Jacen Solo's Sith name. And if you didn't know, I believe I mentioned this a few times before, but the name of Darth Kaitis was actually made by a fan and won a contest where a bunch of different fans had to go and give a potential name to what Jacen Solo's Sith name would be. And honestly, just going through this, it is a really exciting novel. It is something that was read by me in a course of a weekend. And yeah, technically the reason that I read in the course of a weekend was because I was reading it while online to go and meet most of the Lord of the Rings cast at C2E2 and also on the ride to the convention and back. But it was honestly just a really, really great novel, and I easily could have went and used my phone and done other stuff, but I was just so compelled by this story that I just couldn't stop reading it. The story was just, I mean, it was really great, and as I mentioned last week, Timothy Zahn, he didn't like that they killed Mara Jade off in this book, although he did appreciate that it wasn't his story and respects the author. He didn't like it, and while I'd say I didn't love that Mara Jade was killed off because she's such a compelling character, for it to go and push this storyline forward, it was handled well. It was more or less the same way I saw Chewbacca's death. Yeah, I don't want Chewbacca to die, but the story that it made was just so interesting that yeah, it was a really disappointing thing to see such a beloved character die, but still it was still well done and something that I overall did enjoy. And just going through really everything, we'll first talk about Boba Fett, where he's really only the focus of Karen Travis's novels. In this series, if you take a look at it, it's really only written by three authors: her, Aaron Alston, and I can think of the guy's name. I think it was Troy Denning. And Troy Denning does four, and then the rest of them do three novels, making it to the full nine since this series is only 9 books. One of them had to do one more book than the others since they were evenly split across and did them in the exact same order. Since Denning started the story, he's going to finish it. But this one is by Karen Travis, and it goes into Boba Fett and his time as Mandalore. This one is him going and building up Mandalore's connections, making it a state where it could actually be able to defend itself, and they're just at a really weak point after the Yuuzhan Vong War. And he's going and building its economy up. He is working with I can't think of the species name, but it was the Verpine. There we go. I just need a second to figure that out. And together they go and create a very deadly Mandalorian Basilisk starfighter based off of the legendary Basilisk war droids, and it just has just a really great storyline for him. He's doing this not only to help his people, but also since he doesn't meet the clones that have the cure to his terminal disease, he has to do it to prove his loyalty to Mandalore, so they will go and help him. And honestly, it was just a really great story with him. I like how at the end he goes and he has these Mandalorian gauntlets to be made and sent to Han Solo to tell him, yeah, we're gonna kill your son if you don't do it first. And while that is ignored in the next book, it is picked up 2 books later. So there was little traces of that, of these stories being connected, and I feel like it may have been a more last minute addition to the story, something that Aaron Olson probably asked Kieran Travis to do to be able to have that in his story, which is why I'm assuming it wasn't in that next book for Han to go and get the gauntlets in that one. And yeah, honestly, it was just really interesting with Boba Fett, and really everything with him was really solid. But now it's time to go and move into the big parts of the story, the way more crazy and insane stuff. And the rest of the story mainly focuses on Jason and Ben, and Jason going and ascending to the rank of Sith Lord, and Ben going and realizing just everything that Jason is. And that goes to another really explosive conclusion in the next book for Ben specifically, but honestly, everything here was really great. Mara also was a pretty major role where she's going and trying to hunt down Lumaya, but definitely Jason and Ben are the focuses of this book, and it's honestly just really, really great. But I think to speak of Ben first, because these three storylines are very, very stuck together, and them going on these different paths. There is, well, Ben is sent to go and assassinate. I don't remember his name. Starts with it was like Genjin or something like that, who is the current head of the Corellians, and to do that while he's meeting with Cal Omis because they're going and trying to end the war, but in the way they're doing it, they're going to say that they need to take out Admiral Nightfall and Jason, and although that would cause some death, it would, well, technically be better off for the galaxy because potential Sith Lord would be dead, but he sends Ben to go and assassinate him and record their meeting so he could go and arrest Calamus. And honestly, that was just a really interesting story with that, where well, he goes and he loses a really good friend, the one Imperial who went and looked up to Vader and was really loyal to well, to Jason because how loyal his grandfather was to Vader and how Vader went and treated him. And they just show this small little nice side of Vader where the guy's grandfather was not killed, he was severely injured, and Vader fought for him to go and get full medical benefits and for him to retire. It showed that, yeah, Vader is not a good person overall, but still, he could do some good things to go and help people. And it was to try and push in a little bit that, you know, to kind of create this illusion that the Sith weren't complete monsters, although they really were, and it just more or less showed that there were small parts of Anakin left in Darth Vader, but still, it was just a really little interesting part of the story to talk about. But with that, Ben is just feeling really bad, and when he goes to talk to Jason about it, he accidentally walks into a conversation where Jason is talking to Lumaya, and they're talking about their plan to go and distract Mara. And from this, Ben just like, wow, I was a complete moron. My dad was right, and he was just too ashamed to go and talk to him. So he wants to talk to Mara, and with her, she has this really great, intense fight with Lumaya, and the only reason she's able to, uh, well, she fails is because the Sith meditation spear that Ben got in the previous book and gives to Jason, who Jason gives to Lumaya in this one. And Mara attacks Lumaya and nearly wins, but the meditation spear goes and rescues Lumaya at the last second and severely injures Mara, although she's able to heal from it. And while she's doing that, Ben goes to her and tells her everything. The fact that he went and assassinated I believe it was Genshin. I don't remember exactly his name again, so I remember something around that. But he did that because Mara was tracking him and asked him why he was there and if he did it. And then he just kind of breaks down telling her really everything. He does this for the few different parts, but once he realizes everything that happened with Jason, he goes and tells her he's like, I would prefer you don't tell Dad, but I'd understand if you did. And Mara decides to protect her son and go and confront Jason, knowing that, well, one, this is gonna help build her trust with Ben, but also she didn't think that Luke would go to the means that he had to. So she goes and tracks Jason, and Jason, who's been really struggling with who he would have to sacrifice, fearing it would have to be either Lana or Tenel Ka, goes to visit them after he goes and takes over the Galactic Alliance with Niathal and becomes the co-chief of state. And as he's going after to meet with his secret family, he is tracked down by, well, three different people. He is tracked by Mara, Ben, and Lumaya, and Ben is able to hold Lumaya back by reasserting control over the meditation spear, and Mara goes after Jason and fights him to kill him. The battle is just very intense. It really looks like, if you're reading this for the first time, this could go either way, although I do know how it ends, so going with it. Jason's able to get the slight edge. He manages to poison Mara and kill her, and with that, Jason does claim victory, although he was nearly killed in the fight, and he goes to escape, and Lumaya says that he has fully become a Sith Lord. She's felt the transformation. He has sacrificed what he loves the most, and he doesn't realize it yet, but realizes a little later that it's his family and really any admiration that Ben would have for him, knowing that once Ben figured this out, and he's under no illusions that he won't, he knows he definitely will, that Ben's going to seek revenge and to try to take him out. And honestly, it was a really interesting where Lumaya is just willing to go and sacrifice herself to make sure that Jason is able to become a Sith Lord and has the time to go and solidify that. She goes and attacks Luke and taunts him, and Luke, believing that she is the one who killed Mara, goes and kills her in combat. Well, actually, not in combat. He goes, rescues her, and then kills her to make sure that she is dead. He does it out of anger, and when Ben goes and reveals that it couldn't have been Lumaya, that Lumaya was being held back by him at the time of Mara's death, this just absolutely destroys Luke. But that's something I'll be talking about in the next review, which will be out. It should be a Saturday, unless something comes up where I don't have the time to record that. But yeah, it's honestly just super, super dark, and super compelling, and it all leads to Jason going and realizing my name is Darth Kaitis, and well, I am now the Dark Lord of the Sith, and Jason Solo is truly dead. It's honestly just super, super well done, and I just really enjoyed it. But yeah, honestly, I want to know what you think about this novel. What did you think of it when it came out? If you read it then, or if you read it recently, what did you think of that also? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.